Hi guys, welcome to Aquascaping on the Fly. I'm Anthony, your host and content creator. What have I got for you today? I did a quick little scavenger hunt here locally in North Texas. And if you've watched any of the other videos, there's a project we're working on right now. It's Kong Skull Island, and it's a terrarium that is being built inside of a unused firebox. And meaning unused is, I don't ever plan to use it while I'm here. But I'm not doing anything permanent to it that can't be just easily pulled out and converted back to a full-fledged firebox if someone wants that. But I used a chemical insecticide to kill the fruit flies, gnat flies that have been growing inside the condo here because of all the growth chambers and all the moss I've got everywhere. And so I sprayed it on there without even thinking, went on a trip, came back and my moss was dead. So what my goal was today, I thought, hey, I took an hour out of my day and I thought, let me go to my favorite spots and see if I can't find a little bit of moss to replace what has died. And I was ecstatic about what I was able to find, because I think I found maybe a couple other pieces to use as moss mountains in the terrarium as well. But what we've got going on right now, and I want to make sure you can see all of this, so I may need to zoom in just on this little section here. I have this little baggie right here, and this is some just fern that I found growing on the banks of the Trinity River. And where I saw where its location is, it's not getting hardly any sand. This is my second attempt at trying to get this to grow. The first one, I think maybe I had it under too intense lighting because it was getting full sunlight for 10 hours a day, which all my growth chambers are, and the leaves just kind of just fell off. So I think they just melted off. Where I saw this growing, it's on a bank where you're having to walk down the dirt bank. It's not steps, it's just drop downs. And there's some tree roots that are kind of making a natural step. And it was under the tree root in the backside of where you would step. It's just soil. It's just like sandy soil. And that's where 3 of these were growing. So I got kind of really excited. I thought, okay, I was walking up and I was having to hold on to the tree root to get up because it's a rather deep embankment. And that's when I saw them and I thought, okay, fantastic. This is something then that I can hopefully try again and see if we have success with this. So I think I'm going to change just a tad to give you guys an idea. Okay, that's a little bit better for you. Now, I love these. I love these because they're small and they're clear. I'm going to put some gravel. And the gravel we've already had. The gravel is the same gravel that I used in setting up the terrarium, Skull Island in the firebox as the base. I bought this at Home Depot because they have the cheapest pea gravel. It's available anywhere around where I am. So please don't look online because it's outrageously expensive online. I think I pulled out 3. I'm going to do an extra one just in case. So here's your size. You can't really get these any bigger unless they're a lot bigger. And when they're a lot bigger, they're a lot more expensive. So here, we're all about DIY and making this as budget friendly as possible. So that's the whole goal. Now, the sink that's below me that looks like it has dirty dishes in it, it does have my dishes in it. They're not dirty though, they're dirty now. I'm using it to weight down the moss that's in there and also the dried driftwood that I think we can turn into a moss mountain. So it's been soaking for over an hour in there, hopefully to kill off anything that's inside of it. And by that I mean gnats or fruit flies or whatever you want to call them. So I'm just going to take my little cups, sprinkle just some rocks in, and I'm not even, that might be too much. I'm not following any ratio, nothing like that. The soil that's on them is probably going to flake off. I'm just using organic soil that I got at Walmart. The same stuff I put in my terrarium base. I just want to put a little in there and maybe mix the soils together. I'm going to give them the best chance I can, and then this time I'm going to still put them in a grow chamber, but I'm going to put it in one where I know they're going to get some shade. I also found, it's not on camera, because I've already put it in a grow chamber. I put it in one as soon as I got home. It appears to be some type of a native Texas water plant that has the leaf almost of a philodendron, but it's a vine, and it grows right along the river bank itself, so it's needing a lot of moisture. And I want to see if I can get that to grow at the top of a tank. Now, I tried it once before as well, and I'm going to show you what happened. All right, so I reuse everything. This, of course, is a cup that I would get a slushie in, and those of you who are wondering, it's going to be a little bit of Dr. Pepper and a little bit of the blue kind. Those together are just amazing to me. Anyway, that's a little bit for you. I poke a hole where the straw is supposed to go in, and I had the last plant in there, and when I went to pull it out, I did not have all the edges pulled out, and it tore it right in half. And I tried to put it back in, let it sit for a couple more weeks, and just rotted. So I had killed it with my QT cup with a lid on it. What I like about this is you can put the plant at the top, the roots can grow down, you can see if they're developing, and you don't buy anything for this. That's what I love about it. Also, if you like Wendy's has really good cups too. I've used theirs before. All right, so I'm gonna I've double bagged the base here because it does have a lot of dirt. And this does get messy. Shake off as much as I can. There you go. So that's what we've got that we're going to be putting in this. I'm not going to pull this apart. I'm going to try and keep it all intact. I'm just trying to test it to see if it will successfully grow. And then we can pot it and transfer it into another terrarium. Oh, I do have some news for those of you who are really into terrariums. So I have this idea that I wanted to bring on some guests to do some builds. And I have secured a couple that are new into a relationship. They just moved in this year, just recently together, and they've agreed to come on and build a Valentine's terrarium in the studio here. And so I'll probably set them up at the bar, like where you guys, the camera's showing from, and I'll be on this side helping prep all their stuff, but they're going to build a terrarium together. And my thought was, I have a really good friend that did a video that was a couple thing, and he said he loved it because it takes the pressure off of us. You know, you're watching someone else, and I forgot about this. Okay, it's gonna be kind of hard to see this. I'm not sure what this was, but take a look at that. I found that, and it's in one little clump, so we're going to keep it in the clump. I forgot all about that being inside here with it. It was right with the fern. All right, so here's the next one. Oop, there is a spider. Now you see the point why you put it in the water. That way if something's going to get in there, you want it to get in and get out and be safe. I wouldn't care if there was a spider in there. That doesn't bother me. Some people would. Just like when I had started thinking about putting a terrarium in my fireplace, I had a little, you know, the gecko off TV? I had one that was on my patio, and he kept staying there, or she, forever. And I thought, oh, it kind of gave me inspiration that maybe maybe at some point I can have like a living animal inside one of my little terrariums. I would love that. I have thought about putting turtles with a little swim area. That'd be cool. I don't know where the little gecko went now. I haven't seen it in a couple of weeks. All right, there's two. Oh, maybe I only need, oh, no, there's one. And there's a loose one. Here's one. Okay, maybe I'll combine 2 and then 2 for the last one. So here's a look at this one. Oh, another teaser. So there's a couple of videos on my channel that are getting some traction. Now, you guys all know my channel was just started December 1st, so it's not even a month old yet. And I did a dwarf hairgrass video for a tank that I want to do next year, and I want to get my dwarf hairgrass growing so that I'd only have to buy one. And that video is getting a lot of traction, so I'm kind of excited about that. And so here's my teaser. I just placed my first aquarium plant order, and I'm going with 2 companies, and it's an online order. Oh, did you guys hear that? That is my clothes. It was an online order, and I divided it up into 2 because I want to kind of get an idea of one vendor versus another vendor, and maybe is the quality of the shipping better with one versus the other. Okay, there's another little plant. So there's 1 and 2. So that's going to be coming in a few days, and when it does, I'm going to set up a separate video just about how it looks when we unpack it, the quality of the plants that we see, and we're going to put them in a growth chamber. So it's going to be like a really good side-by-side comparison of what you might expect from one vendor versus another. And I did choose one of them because a lot of stuff was on sale, because I had a definite budget of about $200 that I wanted to start my inventory with. And you can see there's a annoying gnat flying around right now. Okay, so that's all that's in there. Oh, there's a spider. All right, now, you dudes, put you right back in there. Okay, so look, prepare. Oh, if I could kill all these gnats, I would. And if you guys have a better solution to get rid of the gnats, you please let me know. We don't need this, and this, and that on this side. So keep your camera shot kind of clean. And by the way, another hint that I have been really using a lot of is when I order any type of meal from a restaurant or whatever, if it comes with the little sauce containers, let me show you. I'm collecting them. Right, so here's two really good examples. This size little container here, these are amazing. I've already got one aquarium plant that I just ordered one of on Amazon, and it's growing inside of one of these. And then these, of course, are hummus containers. I love them because you can poke holes in these and you can see all the way through it. This is really great for a growth chamber as well. So I just wash these and then keep them. And then use them a couple of times and then toss them. Okay. Ooh, that's good sweet tea. Okay, now, oh, we need to move you guys so you can see. you go. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. All right, so you can see, tell immediately. Yes, I rear wash those. And if you guys are using your stainless steel sink to put your rocks and your wood and stuff in, get some of these. These are those rubber mats, these oven mats. Oh, they are a godsend. They'll keep your sink from getting scratched. Now, what I'm going to start with first is my moss. But I do want to give you here's a look at one. This is a real slender one. I think it's too tall to go into Kong. I think the base of it is too tall. But I still want to rinse those off. There's one. Here's the one I think I can really use. I mean, look at that. That's kind of cool. It's got the spike on it that some of the others I've had, that one of the ones that really got messed up. So I think that one's going to be cool. The last one's not a mountain. The last one's more like a log. And look, it's got a cool hole in it. So you can see here's the underside. And it's very, very fragile. So I mean, this pot, if this wasn't as thick as it was on here, it would definitely just fall apart. But here's this piece. It's going to be, it is too big for Kong, but we can put it in a growth chamber and we can use it. So I'm going to drain this water out. Now, I did not know I was going to do aquascaping when I remodeled my kitchen here, because I literally did it just a couple of months before I fell in love with the hobby. But I happened to get a strainer that's perfect. It's got the handle on it, so all this can just go down in there, stay in there. I can pull it out at once and it'll have all the moss left over that may have gotten washed out. So that's what I love about it. But I won't recommend the sink because it doesn't, you know, sinks are supposed to have an angle and they all drain down. This one does not. This one is a crappy version of that. All right. That is really, that little piece right there. Set it to the side. So now, you know, the moss that I gather, what I've learned here in Texas when I'm going out looking for something, it's basically just this. I mean, we might have a couple other varieties, but this is the majority of it. And the easiest way for me to collect it is after we've had a really good rain. After we've had a really good rain, the rain usually washes most of it off onto the ground, and you don't have to like pull it off of wood or anything like that. It's just on the ground, and I love that about it. Oh, that looks amazing. Now I do have 2 tubs already. Yeah, there we go. So I'm not ready for this to go back into Skull Island. I've left the island open for quite some time to see if I can get all of the chemical out of there. I'm going to have to like scrape down at least an inch of the soil to make sure I don't have that chemical, you know, coming through the soil. And then I think I'm going to add another layer of soil to go back in it and kind of remix that with maybe some more sand. But I knew I was going to need, once I eventually get back to the terrarium, once I think it's aired out sufficiently, I need to replace the moss that was in there. But I was excited because we've had warmer temperatures, and when the rain came, it was kind of like the perfect conditions, because there's a spot that I like to go to that's not far, that it just falls right off, because it's not attached to the wood, basically. It's just kind of like hovering on top of it. But the moss that we get that grows on soil, it's more attached to it, so you have to cut the whole top layer of the soil out. And then it makes it impossible to wash. It's got all that dirt in it. One thing I did notice, some of this moss had this kind of stuff on it. This brown tips. That could be seeds, I don't know. But it's pretty. It's really pretty. I've never seen it on there before though. And this is just how you would do it in your community. If you're wanting to start into terrariums specifically, to start with some moss, something that's local to where you are. I just go out on my nature walks and look for things like wood or anything that is appropriate. Oh, no, you don't. Nasty. So now what I do whenever I open my tubs up, I've got my vacuum cleaner going with the hose attachment, and I shake the tub up first to make sure I'm waking them up. And then that way, if they're going to fly forward, I've got my vacuum cleaner ready. The tub is already full, but I'm not going to use the rest of the other tub I have available. I'm going to try and see if I can get all this in there. Maybe just... Oh, that is so full. How much space do I have? Oh, I don't have much space. Okay, we can do that. All right, so here, here's what we got. And this was from just an hour walk. With plastic bags, and a fork, and a knife, in case I need to cut anything. Because when you start to do a project, you really don't realize how fast you're going through your moss. It's really quite amazing. If you guys check out the video on the moss art install, that was 3 tubs just on the limbs above the studio. So now I'm just putting the leftover pieces. Oh, you know what? Oh, what did I do with you? Okay, I think I dropped. Did I drop you? No, it's still there. Okay, a little water, not much. That one plant. That won't grow. That might. So whatever fell, just drop it in there. All right, now, because I'm going to show you real world what I'm talking about. So here's the strainer, which you can see, it's got moss in it. That is what's handy about that strainer. These little dudes don't have anything on them. They're just getting really rinsed. See if there's anything loose that needs to come out. It is driftwood after all. It's very fragile. Normally, I have taken an old toothbrush on the backside, but since I let this soak for over an hour, it's just, the loose stuff is just crumbling off, which is nice. Ooh, that is really loose. Oh, it wants to split so bad, but I don't want it to. Okay. It's a little piece of something. Put it down and see if it grows. Okay, so I will let these drain, and then I already have really big tubs that I can put these in. So I'll let them drain here, and then a few hours from now I can go put them in their tubs. I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.